Hi YouTube, from Fat to Fit here. This is Siggy saying hi. Oh, my lighting is so strange. I've been trying to make this video I don't know how many times, and it gets tiring. I have a love-hate relationship with technology, and I think with most things in this world. Okay, so basically, let's do this quick. Today is Monday, April 18, 2016. I met with my bariatric surgeon, Dr. Armando Casillas, and basically this is my official 1-year surgiversary. Okay, so my blood pressure was 123/69, my pulse rate was 66, my weight today was 176, and my BMI is 29. Last week my weight was 175.9, so I went up a little bit, but I think I'm getting my period. Okay, so I showed him all my papers and how I've been tracking everything, and I want to also graph it, and so I might ask my husband to do it. My son Max, who is a graduate student in math, doesn't have the time to help me, so I'll probably have to help myself. Okay, I know a little bit I do know something about graphing. Okay, so basically this is what my doctor and I did, and I'm not going to lie to you, we were doing formulas here, and we were trying to figure out, I wanted to figure it out because I was curious to know what was my percentage of body of weight loss and body fat. So basically what we finally figured out is there's different formulas here, so let me just find the correct one. So you have your starting BMI, then you subtract it by your current BMI, and you divide that. Wait a minute, that's not the right one. Okay, wait. Okay, there's the one with the weight. Okay, so you do your weight. So let's say my weight was 270 at surgery. Today I'm at 176. So that's 94 pounds weight loss. And then you divide that by 270 minus my goal weight, which is 154, which would give me a BMI, a normal BMI of like under 25. So so that would be a loss of 116 pounds, so that's 94 divided by 116, and that means that I have lost 81% of my body fat. Now then there was another way that he was doing it, which is by BMI, where you go your BMI minus your ideal BMI, and so he had here 44, which is my original BMI, minus 29, which is current, divided by 25, which is my goal BMI. And then he reversed it, and he did 44 minus 25, which is my goal BMI, over 29, which is my current BMI. So that means that 19 over 44. Okay, so anyways, we did it two ways. We did it with pounds, and we did it with BMI. One of them came out to 78%, the other one came out to 81%. So let's just average out to 80%, if you could even average out those things, probably not. And then I said, what about the fact that I'm a 54, soon to be 55-year-old female? You know, there are certain BMI formulas that give you credit, you know, because you're older and it's harder to lose weight, blah blah blah. And so like I know I've been on a BMI calculator, and it said that I was like average for my weight and size, so that was kind of exciting. Okay, so basically I'm no longer, I apologize, I'm no longer taking diabetic medication. I was taking metformin, I was taking short-lasting insulin, long-lasting insulin, I was taking blood pressure medication, losartan, I was taking 50 milligrams, I now take 0. I do not take any more pravastatin, which is for cholesterol. I was at 20 milligrams. I stopped taking it because I had leg cramps, and I was weak and I couldn't exercise the way I wanted to. So that's out. I've stopped taking Elavil, which is an antidepressant, which also causes weight gain. And that basically I was taking for pain because I had a lot of pain. So I have it in my cabinet just in case, because sometimes Tylenol doesn't help that much. I got this shit on my sandals here. Pardon my French. So I'm kind of excited. I was very nervous to see him. I wanted to make a really good impression on him. I wanted him to see that, you know, I did take it seriously, you know, because he had told me that he had a patient that only lost 4 pounds in a year. Well, I think what happens is, you know, probably the patient lost weight, and then you like go back into your bad habits, and then you put on the weight. So we're talking about it, and he said that a lot of people like have too much nuts, because nuts is a healthy food, but like he was talking about jars or whatever, you know, I don't buy nuts like that. I buy peanuts that I need to shell. I buy pistachios that have shells on it. However, I do buy what is that? Pumpkin seeds that are already shelled, and I put that in with cottage cheese and little raisins. So I don't have too much of it. And since it's Passover's coming up, I've been doing, I was making charoset, which is like an apple, walnut, cinnamon, grape juice salad. And so what I'll do is I'll have fewer walnuts and more apples, because apples and cinnamon are really good for diabetics, and I have very little juice because juice is poisonous for diabetics. What was interesting is that my doctor, my surgeon, when I explained to him that if I go swimming at the rec center at UCLA, and I always have to take something with me. I take a protein bar, protein drink, and I always take my glucose tabs, because when I do rigorous exercise, especially swimming, and then I start getting lightheaded or dizzy, or I just have like fatigue, I don't have energy, then I know that my blood sugar is going down. And when you're at the pool, you're not going to check your blood sugar because it's just like a hassle. So, and I do check my blood sugar before I go, but sometimes I forget, you know, just like I forget I'm diabetic, and I forget that I'm not obese. I really forget. So, and I told him that I have to like take all these tabs just to continue swimming, and he was really surprised. And I don't think that unless you're a diabetic, I think it's very hard, even in the medical profession, for people to understand that once you're a diabetic forever. You may not need to take medications, you may be able to control it yourself, but the bottom line is you're more prone to having infections. Infections take longer to heal, et cetera, et cetera. I know that when I have infections, my numbers go up a little bit. So yeah, so that's just the reality. And right now I'm monitoring my diabetes without anything, but who knows, 10, 20 years from now, oh, I don't know if that's going to be the case. So as long as I can do it, I'm going to do it. I'm going to monitor myself and make sure that I have it under control. But if something happens where it's not, and I have to go back to medication or insulin, then that's what I have to do. I won't be happy about it, but I'm going to make sure that I won't be in that situation. But I don't know what the future is going to bring. No one does. But I do know that insulin makes you hungry. Insulin increases your appetite. So you take more insulin, you eat more. And so the lesson here is you take as little insulin as you need to, and at Kaiser they said you take it in increments of 4 units. So my mother is a type 1 diabetic, and you know, and she taking there are certain medications that affect your glucose numbers. You know, it's very, very complicated. You know, you would have to be a chemist and this and that, and it's like nobody is an expert at everything. And so I wish that my niece, who's in medical school, that she would study, you know, about diabetes and bariatric medicine and even surgery, because bariatric surgery didn't cure me of my diabetes, but I would never, ever, ever been able to do this without the surgery. Never. Never. So, and to me, there's no price tag for that. There really isn't. So, so basically, so we talked about some plastic surgery. The doctor said that Kaiser won't even perform anything until after 4 months post-surgery, a VSG surgery. So that gives me a couple of months. Would be great to lose a little more weight. I'm 176. I'd like to like just get out of the 170 range for now. So so it's doable. I just now, maybe without taking some of these freaking medications, I'll be able to swim 2 hours and walk 10,000 steps. And I'd like to play tennis. I'd like to do a lot of more things. But I still have a household to run. So, you know, it's just so many hours in a day. I never have enough time to do what I want to do. So, so what I'm saying is that I am happy. He said, I showed him how much I lost in 3 months. He was very curious about that. And I lost 60 pounds, 61 pounds. And he said most people lose 30 pounds. And then he said that with the VSG surgery, the fat loss expectation, the percentage of fat loss is about 55%. And I'm at 81%. So he said that was very impressive. So I want to be at 100%. So to me, that would be very impressive. So, so he said I look like $1 million, but at 270 pounds, he said I look like $1 million. And he is just such a sweetheart, and he's a great surgeon. And I highly recommend him, and I'm so grateful that he was my surgeon. And I thought that Kaiser makes you see your surgeon every year for 5 years, but things are constantly changing. And he said no, because a lot of people don't show. And I'm thinking, why is that? Because they've gained their weight back, right? So I said, no, I'm coming next year, and I'm going to come the following year, and I want to keep on going annually, so it keeps me targeted. And also, I want to say, for my few very devoted not sponsors, subscribers, I can't thank you enough for caring and being interested in my process here. And I'm going to say that it was not a waste of my time, that it helped me be honest, it helped me deal with issues I didn't want to deal with, and it made me accountable. Okay, I'm sure I could have done better, but I know that I could have done a lot worse. And so like my husband says, I still eat too much. I agree. And so this is how I look at it. I rather exercise more to be able to eat more. And some people rather exercise little or none and eat less. So I don't know. And, you know, I'm still getting my period. Maybe after that, you know, I'm going to put more weight on. I don't know. You know, the future is the unknown, and that's why it's scary. But I have learned not to be afraid. And for someone who has been morbidly obese for 20 years, who has been in an abusive work environment for a very long time, who has been in a challenging family dynamic, let's put it that way, people who are not in that situation, they really can't relate to someone like me. So I told my sister, I said, you know, I'm not afraid anymore. And she says, why would you be afraid? And like when she said that,